You know what works? FVP Platinum batteries work. They're built to start, period. You know what works? FVP Stay Tuned works. Engine buildup doesn't stand a chance. FVP, reach for what works. You know.
From a brand new hockey hotbed on a new sheet of ice, a new season opens up for the St. Michael Albertville Knights and for us here on Youth Hockey Hub. Already one game under the belt of the Monticello Moose at 1-0 in this Mississippi 8 clash. Here tonight on Youth Hockey Hub, presented by FVP. Good evening, I'm J.W. Cox here with you from a brand new sheet of ice, as mentioned, $9 million or so into this new arena for the home of the Knights, coming off of their first ever trip to the state tournament a season ago under now 14th year head coach Jeremiah Johnson. The Knights open up their 2018-2019 campaign with a conference matchup against the Monticello Moose. The Moose very successful at Class A as well over the last two seasons, back-to-back section championships and into the state tournament 2 years in a row. Last year losing in the first round to Hermantown. They would eventually lose to Thief River Falls in the consolation championship as well. It was a first round exit in their first trip to the state tournament for St. Michael Albertville, but the Knights, a 24-win season. They lost to Duluth East and ended up at number 8 in our final rankings of the year a season ago here on Youth Hockey Hub. Glad you're with us. The Knights in white, the Moose in red. A Mississippi 8 showdown. A battle of two state tournament teams from a year ago at two different levels is underway as the draw is taken and won by the Moose. Going left to right, they'll attack in front of Blake Marhula, who is the goalkeeper for these St. Michael Albertville Knights. Quick takeaway up the ice. It comes on the near side for Luke Leyland, trying to work his way into the zone as it's pushed out and around on the near side. Big hit coming just shy of neutral ice as Leyland now picks up the loose puck. Skating into the corner. He has the favor returned by Jacob Sorensen. It springs the puck free for the Monticello Moose. The puck coming up the far side in front of that St. Michael Albertville Knights bench. And into the corner it goes. A slam off the boards there for Connor Kewitt. Kewitt, a junior defenseman, and very quickly a pick and a save for Marhula. Last year, not a lot of time in net for the now senior, as the net just jar loose of its moorings on that far side. As we're 40 seconds into this presentation here on Youth Hockey Hub, presented by FVP. Face-off taken, the draw back to the blue line on the near side. It's picked up by Caleb Holm. Holm fires that deep shot in. Springs off of Marhula all the way out to the far side in front of the Knights bench, not out of the zone. As we reach the 1 minute mark here in this first period of three, coming your way from the new home of the Knights. Check off the puck, but the puck was already free and sprung into the middle of the ice. Nick Lemire now up the near side with it as he pushes it up ahead to a teammate, Zach Miller. Miller bumped off the puck just outside the circle. Lemire has to come back over, and the sophomore centerman fighting for the puck. Eventually the whistle comes, and will bring it out of the zone for a neutralized faceoff. Let's check that. It's going to come all the way back down to the other end. Last year for now second-year head coach Eric Nelson, who's a Big Lake native, went out east to play at the University of Connecticut for his college hockey, played some professional hockey, and now in his second year here with the Moose, a Class A school playing in the Mississippi 8, a Mississippi 8 that has been dominated by St. Michael Albertville recently. The Moose able to hold it in with the quick stick of Troy Dahlheimer, their top scorer, returning with 21 goals a season ago in the regular season and playoffs. Coming up on 15 and a half minutes to go here in this first period of action. We're scoreless. First game of the year for the Knights, second game of the year for the Moose. The Moose, a victory already over Prairie Center. They put up 7 goals in that opener. Cody Kelly streaking down the middle of the ice, but 2 defenders back, able to flip it back out to neutral. Connor Kewitt turns it back in for the Knights, and a high winding shot. And the first time we see Riley Guyan-Helget stand up out of the crouch and watch that puck go off the glass behind him. It slides in front. Defensive presence there from Jeff Hendrickson. Another centering pass right to the middle with a couple of Knights hacking at it. In between the circles. Puck still loose and free. Guy Helget makes the save once and twice and directs the puck below the goal line, where it's finally whistled dead as he clamps down on top of it. And we'll come back to the other end, or rather out to his glove side for the face-off for the Knights. The dynamic duo for the Knights that helped carry them to a section championship a year ago is returning. Another pass into the middle that's turned back by the Moose. That would be Adam Fleming and Luke Leyland. Combined on 31 goals, but Leyland had 29 assists. As there's another big check that gets these St. Michael Albertville fans up on their feet right in front of the glass. Here we're not on campus at St. Michael Albertville High School, but in Albertville. Working on this new rink as that puck's going to spring free all the way back and be an icing. Tanner Sundell was in hot pursuit. Senior who looks to be relied on maybe a little bit more this year after playing in 4 games a year ago for Coach Johnson. The last 4 Mississippi 8 titles belong to the St. Michael Albertville Knights. Did some window shopping on maybe another conference in the metro area, but it would appear that the commute had those conferences looking a little askance at the Knights, to say nothing of how good they have been, as there's a quick shot right in front for Huntley Hins. Hins, the junior, already a goal on the season, nearly had another with some open net to the right of Marhula. And eventually it hops out of the zone. Nobody cleared for the Moose. So we come back to neutral ice with 14:22 to go. A reminder, Splash Ice Melter, the shaker bag. Easy to use. Simply tear open and shake on surfaces where safety really matters. Splash Ice Melter. Another one of the great FVP products. FVP presenting this high school hockey matchup here. Our first of a busy week of action on Youth Hockey Hub. Out of the zone with a backhanded pass for Flaming as he draws some iron for the first time on the near side. Knights trying to maintain possession of the puck as it bounces away towards Hendrickson for the Moose. Up towards the blue line, knocked down with the hand of Kewitt. Moving through the circle, beat a man and throws it off the chest of Guy and Helget. Helget makes the save as it comes back to the blue line again. Held in by the Knights. Still more pressure coming for St. Michael Albertville. Again, in close it went. Knocked away and pushed off to this near side. Moose trying to move it back into the St. Michael Albertville end with 13:40 to go here in this first period in a scoreless matchup between these two Mississippi 8 teams, both in their respective state tournaments a year ago. Pass to a wide open man at neutral ice. Flaming has to recover. He does. Get backs up on his skates and fires it wide. Guy and Helget didn't have to make the save that time as it was careening towards the corner boards. Free puck. Moose able to take it away and clear it out of the zone. Backhanded pass comes for Dane Reimringer. Reimringer leaves it back to a trailing man at the circle. Second try for Reimringer, no good, as it could not get enough steam going in towards Marhula. Puck up behind the goal line and a whistle, and finally that will bring play to a halt here. And it looks like the Knights want an early timeout. Nope. We got to. So the Knights need somebody in the penalty box. It was a penalty instead on the Knights bench that brought us to a halt. So they'll go 5-on-4. Thought so, but no one was going over there to the bin. And so instead, it will be a 5-on-4 for the first time. And the first penalty of the game belongs to the Moose. 4 shots on goal for St. Michael Albertville. 3 shots on goal for the visitors from Monticello as they get the first power play opportunity so far this season. They're 1 for 4 on the power play. One of their 7 goals scored in their opening victory over Prairie Center came on the advantage. Try and set it up, working left to right in those bright red Moose uniforms. From neutral ice, turned away. Olhoff trying to find his way to the puck with his skates underneath him. Couldn't do both, and it springs free down into the corner. Out to the blue line, though, and Olhoff, though he hasn't got control of the puck, masterful job of killing off the first 35 seconds. Most of that for him. There's a minute 20 now to go in this power play, and they've yet to go back into the zone after the opening draw. That won't help. Puck with wings up over neutral ice as it finally floats down to the deck. Over on the far side, it's up and hopped out of bounds by Fleming. Up into the bench. So another neutral ice face-off. A minute 11 to go in the penalty. 12:21 remaining here in this first period. As we are scoreless here from St. Michael Albertville's new sheet of ice. Moose able to control, but unable to move up the ice. Now they get a little nifty pocket pass going up to Dahlheimer. Dahlheimer streaks his way outside the circle, turns the corner behind the net. Set up shop with 55 seconds to go in the penalty. Long shot from the blue line, and the puck is up in the air as there was some hacking in front of the net. Played down by the Knights initially, but taken back by the Moose, and their centering pass goes awry. That was Dahlheimer careening down the slot as Sorensen has to track it down. 40 seconds to go in the power play. It's been a long, plodding 2 minutes here for the Knights, who have done a good job killing off this penalty, but a lot more to come. Still with outside of 30 seconds left in the advantage. Penalty that came on the bench here early in this one. Tried to slow it down and neutralize, couldn't quite do it. Now 25 seconds left in the advantage. Moose working backwards, aggressive up front for Nick Lemaire. Just a sophomore, pushing up the ice to make it tough on Monticello. And then now with 14 seconds to go, working to the near side, trying to get that springing free pass, and it's deflected down by Henriksen. He can move up the slot with a man to his left. Never got the shot away as it slides free of Marhula. And that will do it for the penalty. Back to full strength go the Knights. So great work killing off that penalty. The draw started in their defensive zone, and they were able to move it out and keep it out for the better part of that 2 minutes. Right back to work, though, Nick Foldesi. For Monticello, he knifes a pass across in front of the slot, in front of the crease, rather, and Marhula watches it stay wide. Back on the near side, circle to circle it goes, as Monticello being very, very patient. Big hit for their trouble back behind us on the left. Another pass ticks off the stick of a Moose right at the blue line with 10.5 to go here in this first. 5 shots on goal for St. Michael Albertville. Just 3 for the Moose, and they've had the lone penalty of this game, going 0 for 1 so far. That's a turnover. Coming back at the blue line, pushed up by Pedersen. Fires it around the boards, looking for some help on the far side. He's out there with Olhoff on this line. It's held in nicely at the blue line, but nobody there to help. Flaming went hopping over a defenseman who picks it up. Back the other way calls Dahlheimer, and Dahlheimer able to sneak it through. And he will taunt the St. Michael Albertville student section, because that one, I don't even think he expected off his stick for it to go through. But here with 10:11 to go, it'll be Troy Dahlheimer with his 4th goal already of the season. It's 1-0 in favor of the Moose. Marhula appeared to be high in the crease, and that one just kept tailing wide, but never got outside the posts on him. And so with 10 minutes to go in the first, despite being outshot 6-3, the Moose have a 1-0 lead. Another wild shot. This one, though, gloved by Marhula. So he's back on the beam with 9:58 to go. Check that, it is 7 shots for the Moose. So they are out shooting St. Michael Albertville 7-3. Puck caught up behind Marhula's net. Line, it's fired right back in by Jacob Moore, who contributed to the state tournament team. For Fleming, he was a sophomore then when they made their run to the state tournament a year ago. The first ever, and it was Fleming and Leyland who talked about the fact that this type of support they're seeing here in the building, well, they saw it out in the community. Obviously not front of mind for hockey when it comes to St. Michael Albertville until now. Huge state tournament appearances in other sports for the Knights, including Coach Johnson's wife. He's coached the girls' soccer team to 9 straight state tournaments. All kinds of wrestling accolades for St. Michael Albertville, now putting hockey on the board. Another long shot, that one was thrown into the net. A save initially by Marhula, and well, you can't fault the guy for trying, but he picked that up and he tossed it over there like a second baseman, trying to make a double play at the point of the diamond there. And that was Hins trying to get nifty. And if he's pleading his case, it's more of a laugh that he's having with the official. So that's not even a kicking motion to debate. It's going to bring the face-off back to the other side. So it's still 1-0 with 9:21 to go. But aggressive shots being taken by the Moose here. 8-3. They are out shooting St. Michael Albertville. They put on some pressure from just inside the blue line. That was tipped. up into the screen. So another face-off coming off to the left. Flaming with 22 goals a year ago. 8 goals for Nate Swinson coming back. 9 for Leyland, as mentioned, with his 29 assists a season ago. Off the draw, it's caught up right there at the circle. Didn't move very much until it's eventually pushed out of the zone by Hins. Huntley Hins, who tried to hand pass that one right into the back of the net. He does already have a goal this season in that first game. They scored 7. Knights playing with it backwards for Kelly at his own blue line, trying to push it back up ahead. Hins making it tough, and it was dumped in with an extra Moose skater down in the zone. Dahlheimer scored 3 times in that game. Henriksen twice with 1 on the power play, and then Miller and Hins with the other 2. So 4 scorers to put up their 7 goals as we're inside of 9 minutes to go here in the first. Collision in behind the net. A 1-0 lead for the Moose, trying to go to 2-0. Take a quick edge here in the Mississippi 8 standings. As the puck spins around the board to the outside. Back to the blue line it goes, and pushed along the boards. A spinning, whirling dervish of a Knight player trying to squeak his way by. Didn't make his way there. It's pushed up ahead. Onto the stick of Alex Opatz right now as he goes outside the circle with it. He's walled off right in front of that Knight student section, which has been vocal. 8 minutes to go here in this first. Back at neutral ice, it goes for Sundell. Sundell up against 3 defenders. Seems to be red sweaters back hawking on the blue line every single time the Knights try to make a break. That one will be an icing, so they won't have to break into the zone this time. So we've got 7:58 to go. A reminder, FVP has a dominating lineup. Reach for what works with FVP oil, antifreeze, stay tuned, batteries, and more. Visit your local auto shop or retailer for all your FVP products. You're watching Youth Hockey Hub's presentation of our first boys high school hockey game since the opener. In somebody's home building. We had the opener over the weekend at the Bloomington Ice Gardens. And now at the home of the Knights, taking the show on the road as we will throughout the season. So keep it tuned right here on Youth Hockey Hub for not only the latest news and rankings and analysis, but also live game action, a centering pass. They were looking right in the middle there for Flaming. He was all over the crease. Puck couldn't find him though. All the way back, Knights have to work it up ahead. Little lead pass to no one in particular there. Send up this near side. .7:26 to go, a 1-0 lead. Goal scored with 10:11 to go, the 4th of the season for Troy Dahlheimer. 21 a season ago. Quick whistle off the draw. We'll do it again here. 9-3 shots on goal for the Moose. Draw just stayed still right there on the dot before finally taken away by the Knights. Controlled in behind the net, trying to work it up the ice. Held in momentarily by Ben Miller, but it hops up over his shoulder all the way back out to the blue line. With 7:12 to go, stick side face-off for Blake Marhula. Puck on the near side. The Knights try to work it in. Moose not afraid to play back near their own goal line throughout this game, and it's resulted in some pressure, some possession rather, but not pressure. Now working it up on the stick of Cornelius. Weaves his way through, crosses the St. Michael Albertville blue line and fires that shot off the stick of Marhula up into the netting. Another face-off coming his way with 6:44 to go. Seven sophomores, 1 freshman to go along with 5 juniors and 6 seniors on this St. Michael Albertville roster this year. Puck caught up in the corner. Spun backwards by Tyler Beckstrom, one of those sophomores. Got it to the blue line. In ahead on the stick of Miller. Miller fires that shot, and it hits the belly of Guyan Helget. He swallows it up, makes his fourth save of the night with 6:29 to go. Draw coming up, though, a chance for the Knights to go to work. 24-7 a year ago. First trip to the state tournament, as we mentioned. They upset Moorhead in the Section 8 finals and rode a 12-game win streak into that game against Duluth East at the X. The Moose trying to send them down to a loss here in the regular season opener, as that one was tipped away and off the skates of a defenseman. Puck flies around the outside, dumped into the corner it goes. Zach Miller trying to find his way up and in, and he does. Crawls up above the goal line, and Zach Miller, the sophomore, picks up his first varsity goal of his career and evens this game at 1 with 6:07 to go. Tied at 1 inside the final 6:15. Now it's the Moose back on their heels, out shooting St. Michael Albertville 9-5. But we sit knotted at 1. Just a sophomore. Miller finding his way to the goal. Guyan Helget watching as his teammates play with the puck in behind him. Sorensen trying to bring it out of the corner. It's backhanded back towards the blue line. Right there goes Swinson. Swinson trying to curl it back around the near side post. It's chipped into the corner. Back up towards the blue line it goes. Knocked down, taken away once again by Leyland. He'll track it down with a glove spinning down to the turf, or down to the deck rather, from one of these Monticello Moose. Creates a lot of havoc. Traffic in front. Guyan Helget still makes the save. Flops on top of it with Flaming bearing down. The rest of the Monticello squad taking exception to Flaming being on the spot. And when the dust settles, it will be a draw coming out to the glove side of Guyan Helget. Tied at 1, off the draw, nearly taken away in front of the net, still in doubt as to who would control that. Alex Opax able to bring some calm to it defensively, and it finally does hop out of the zone quickly. Killett able to knock it through and back into the zone, just played off the right pad of Guyan Helget. Back up through neutral ice it comes. Opax flying his way past a couple of defenders, but that little move right at the blue line cost him, and they'll bring it back out of the zone. Draw coming just in front of the Knights bench. 1-1 your score. The Knights coming back to tie the game at 1 apiece. Just outside the 6-minute mark as we play under 5 minutes to go here in the first period now. Hins on the near side, able to push it back towards the blue line. It's deflected back down. Brendan Peterson, the man who pushes it down towards the goal line. Turned over right in front. It's Pedersen again, and he was on the doorstep, and it's swept away by the Moose. They had Guyan Helget sprawled out. And a couple of opportunistic looks the last 2 times down the ice for the Knights. Just missing, taking their first lead of this season. Turns into an icing. So the pressure working out to keep some possession. But just that close a couple of different times. Puck hops away, out past the blue line. The Knights with 4:20 to go have to work it right back in. Down below the goal line it goes, ripped around the boards. And the Moose will take it away. Into the possession of Matt Miller. Trying to work it up the far side. Now Miller chasing it as it eludes him and Tyler Beckstrom. Gets all the way to the goal line, bring the icing right back down the other way. And what do we got? We got a slash coming. And it's on Matt Miller. So we had one penalty early on for the Moose. They couldn't use it to their advantage, and now a chance for St. Michael Albertville up a man. First power play opportunity of this season for the St. Michael Albertville Knights. It's Swenson who will peel it off the boards and send it back up to the near side for Kelly. Kelly from the blue line trying to work it along this near side. A step inside for Leyland. Leyland fires that shot with Flaming standing on the doorstep. It deflects all the way out to Hewitt. Hewitt moves it across the ice to the near side, looking again for Swenson. Swenson plays it back, settled down to Kelly. Kelly directing, fires it over to Hewitt instead. He fires that long shot in on Guyan Helgett, who gets shoved down into his own cage, but nothing coming of that. Nope, there will be. And so we will bring it out of the zone. So no penalty coming off of that, but pull it out of the zone on the shove on Guyan Helgett. Flaming incidental getting in there. And the Knights now with 1:26 to go in the power play. Get it right back in with a backhanded try for Leyland right on the doorstep. Puck deflected back out to the front. Long shot deflected away off the stick of Kelly. The near side it goes for Flaming. Flaming working outside the circle, defended doggedly by Sorensen. Sorensen walking him right down to the corner. Some help coming. That's in the form of Swenson. Swenson trying to peel it away. Eventually it's Flaming who takes it, walks it along the goal line, tries to set up his own shot, and he's walled off by two defenders. It's cleared out. All the will be to the stick and eventually then covered up by Marhula. You're watching boys high school hockey here on Youth Hockey Hub, presented by FVP. Full slate of games coming your way, including 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday. 56 seconds to go in this power play for the Knights. Tied at 1 with 3 minutes left in this first period. Knights control the draw, but back in their own end on the power play, trying to work it up. On the far side it goes with a little bit of speed as you get a new special teams unit in there. They don't get a chance at it as it's swept clean and free by Alex Opatz. 39 seconds to go. This power play, when it expires, will put us right near the 2-minute mark here of period number 1. A fly up the ice on the near side for Lemaire. He's checked into the boards hard. Moose fans made their way here. They like it. Pushed back out to neutral ice, played backward by Beckstrom. Beckstrom working it over along the far side boards. He'll just dump it into the zone. Everyone chases after. 15 seconds to go in the power play. Cleared again. This one all the way down the ice. That one will be settled down by Marula. Final 6 seconds. Expiring on the penalty. It's taken away before it reaches the blue line. Puck settled back in by the Knights. Back to the blue line it goes. Kelly. Kelly fires that one down into the corner. At the goal line, it hops away. Knocked back on the near side. Knights now trying without the advantage to hang on to possession. That long shot nearly wound through traffic off the stick of Beckstrom. Beckstrom watches it go behind his back off the glass. He'll turn and chase. 1:45 to go. Sends it back up on the near side, right onto the stick of Pedersen. On the far side, he goes with the pass to Sundell. Sundell will fire that shot going wide. A crash inside for a falling Olhoff. He's walled off eventually by the Moose and Sorensen. Sorensen, he sends the pass to Miller. Miller sprints past two defenders. Miller taken down from behind as he takes the shot. Hand in the air and a penalty upcoming. With 1:23 to go, shots are even at 9. We're even at 1 on the scoreboard. Here late in the first, and a second penalty of the game drawn by the Moose. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play. And so just a piece after Sundell and his running mate had been beaten by a nifty, swift move from Matt Miller. 4 playoff goals a year ago. That included 2 in the state tournament for Matt Miller. Pushed him up to 10 goals on this season, so he had 6 in the regular year and comes in with 4 more in the postseason. Second power play opportunity would carry over into the second if they can't find a way to score. Quick streak in for Henriksen. Henriksen, 15 goals a year ago. They're leading, make it second leading returning scorer. Lost possession, back down to the other end. The Knights had a very strong penalty kill the first time. Made it tough on the Moose to gain possession. Near side doing it again, right at neutral ice. It's pushed down and around the boards on the far side. Chase Bakken trying to run it down for this Monticello Moose team as we get inside a minute to go in this first period. Up onto the stick of Dahlheimer. He'll take it across the blue line himself. Minute 24 to go in the power play, but right now worried about the period clock. Fired through the circle, deflected off the skate of Reed Brown, the senior defenseman for the Knights. Up from the half wall it goes. Long fired shot. Marhula wasn't sure where that was, but I think it was underneath him. So now some fisticuffs after the hacking by Henriksen at the puck. Settle everything down with 33.5 seconds to go here in this first period. And a minute 10 on this penalty. First game here on this sheet of ice for the Knights. Brand new building. Adjacent to where they did play. Here off campus in Albertville. 10-9, the shots favor the Moose. 1-1 is your score. 33.5 seconds to go. Long delay before this draw. Controlled by the Moose. They've got the rest of the period if they need to use it on the power play. A diving, sliding block of the shot by Olhoff. Ends up out of the zone, onto the stick of Swenson. Swenson going wide. He'll make his way with some stick handling through two defenders with 15 seconds to go here in the period. Pokes it away again to keep it alive. Fire to the middle. Olhoff, he settles it off his own skate, fires it in. Easy save for Guy and Helget. Back out to neutral ice. 6 seconds to go. Looks like we'll sort out the rest of this penalty in the second period with 2. With 1, Chase won't be fast enough for Henriksen. And we go to the second with 37 seconds remaining of penalty time and a little more activity between these two conference rivals in the corner. Knights 1, Moose 1. After 1, we'll come back after this here on Youth Hockey Hub.
What works? FVP Platinum batteries work. They're built to start, period. You know what works? FVP Stay Tuned works. Engine buildup doesn't stand a chance. FVP, reach for what works. You know what?
Back here in between the first and second period on Youth Hockey Hub, the Knights and the Monticello Moose, the Knights of St. Michael Albertville in their brand new arena. We're stalled here between the periods. There's been a malfunction on the ice with the clearing and scraping of the ice. So we're getting to see a little bit that most people in here haven't really seen before. And so the folks here at this brand new arena working it out, figuring out what to do to get these teams back out on the ice. But that's why we've got a little bit of an extra delay. Can't skate around an iceberg there in the second period. So the Moose, they scored in the first. They picked up the first goal of the game, the fourth of the season from Troy Dahlheimer. The assist credited to his teammate, to not Ben Miller. It was the other Miller, Matt Miller, who was able to get the assist, his first credited assist of the season. That was with 10:11 to go in the first period, then 6:07 remaining. It was another Miller, but this time on the other side. Zach Miller, the sophomore, scored his first goal of the season for the Knights. The assist credited to Nick Lemaire, the sophomore centerman. So that ties us at 1. There's still 37 seconds of a Monticello penalty coming up to begin the second period. We also had coincidental roughing penalties called right at the end as time expired on Monticello and St. Michael Albertville. So the sin bin will be full when we start the second. The Zamboni back out, as you see. They'll give it another run, the third run here at trying to scrape things clear as they work everything out here. The brand new sheet of ice for St. Michael Albertville in Albertville. We're tied at 1. You're watching Youth Hockey Hub's presentation of boys high school hockey, brought to you by FVP. We got clean ice and a second period ready to go here from Albertville, the home of the St. Michael Albertville Knights. Brand new home, $9 million or so into what has turned into a great facility. And I think as we roll forward, it's going to grow into itself. More amenities to come, no doubt. But getting it opened up here for game number 1 for the Knights, and we're tied at 1 after 1 period of play. J.W. Cox here with you, Justin Moss on the camera, as we've got Youth Hockey Hub coverage presented by FVP. Several games, the first of 6 this week here via Youth Hockey Hub. I'm excited for my next assignment for Youth Hockey Hub this week. The last 2A state champs will battle it out on Friday at Pagel Arena, as that will be Minnetonka, the defending champs, taking on the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. For all you trivia fans out there, those will be your last 2 AA state champs. A couple of coaches in their second year returning to their alma maters as well. So that'll be fun coming up on Friday. Don't forget, youthhockeyhub.com, though, is your source all season long. Live streamed games, but also rankings, expert staff analysis, and all the news and notes you need to know about youth hockey at all levels, as we certainly get things rolling now in high school hockey. Monticello won. They got a goal with 10-11 to go with the 4th of the year for Troy Dahlheimer. And St. Michael Albertville won. Zach Miller scored their lone goal. That came inside of 6.5 minutes to go. Penalty box full, Coincidental Miners. Right at the end of that period, there's 25 seconds of power play time for the Moose to try and work with as they attack right to left, but turned it over right in front of the guy in Helgett. Never saw a shot come his way. It's deflected down quickly off the stick of Adam Fleming. A bit of an extended intermission. If you missed it there at the intermission, as it's intercepted and neutralized by Leyland. He makes his way inside, outside the circle, short-handed chance, and he lofts it up with a little backhand shovel, and he just goes wide. But that's going to do just enough to work this penalty all the way down and through. 0-for-2 now on the power play for the Moose, and it's still in the zone for the Knights as they wait to get an extra skater back out there. 40 seconds gone here in period number 2. Game number 1 for the Knights, looking for their first decision. The Moose won their first game 7-1. Puck slides free in front of the net. Nobody home but the Moose, and it's taken out by Huntley Hins. Hins threw a puck into the net, quite literally, in that first period. No goal as Miller tries to skate through the middle of the circles with it. Hins comes from behind with a sniper of a shot that just sails high. Another shot gets the glove of Marhula, working quickly, but it was way high up over his left. Quick run out for Leyland. Leyland with Fleming trailing. He was wide open and alone, and the puck just slides through his skates. Still some chance at pressure for the Knights. Leyland after it at the half wall. 15:35 to go here in this second period. Tied at 1. 11-10 shots on goal in favor of the Moose. We were knotted up at 9 apiece out of the first. Whistle and changes coming up before this neutralized face-off. Talking about the Monticello Moose, nicknamed after Moose Sherritt, local booster who moved to Monticello after a successful NHL career with the Red Wings. That long shot sails wide off the stick of Zach Miller. So it was a co-op for a time with Vanadale and Maple Lake, now just Maple Lake, part of that co-op. Never a whole lot of players coming to the Magic. Well, the Magic in other sports. The Moose, of course, as just mentioned in hockey. Never a lot of extra players coming from the other 2 towns in the co-op, as that one centered in front. Backhand steered away off the back of the net. 15 minutes to go here in this second period. Tied at 1. A walk along the goal line. Robinson upended. Puck taken away as it goes up the far sideline for Brian Cornelius. Settles it right back into the middle for Dahlheimer. Dahlheimer's shot. That's deflected. Fluttering high up into the net. Good defensive stick work coming back. Hayden Hubert, a sophomore defenseman, on the spot to deflect it away. But now the Moose, just a single co-op. Bit of a numbers, not game, that makes it sound cheap, but numbers kind of dictating what they wanted to do or what they could do. Class A versus 2A. Is this long shot steered away by Marhula. And he eventually did corral that in that left glove. So they're in Section 5, Class A. No section opponents so far. This is their first Mississippi 8 game, and both these teams, of course, still in the Mississippi 8 Conference. Puck peeled out off the draw by Jake Freed. Freed trying to keep it pinned in the corner. It hops up towards the blue line. Shot from there, deflected down. Knights in pursuit, 2-on-2 on these near side boards, and it's the Knights who take it away back to the blue line. Deflected back down, quickly past Connor Kewitt. Kewitt trying to work his way behind the net, just into traffic. Knights trying to pull it out of their own end. Finally pushed up the near side boards. Only makes it about halfway to the blue line before it's picked off by the Moose again. Sent out to neutral ice, tracked down by Freed. He's able to knife it up ahead, slice it right through the middle of the near side circle. Tracked down by Reed Brown. Reed Brown, one of the seniors on this team, one of 6 seniors to lead the Knights here in 2018-2019. Pushed back, and an icing will pause us with 13:49 to go here in this second period. FVP is a dominating lineup. Reach for what works with FVP oil antifreeze. Stay tuned, batteries, and more. Visit your local auto parts shop or your retailer nearby for FVP products, a proud presenting sponsor of Youth Hockey Hub's coverage of high school hockey. 1-1 our score. 13:49 to go here in this first period. 0 for 2 on the power play for the Moose. They scored first. Knights are 0 for 1 on the power play. They equalized inside the final 6.5 of that first period. Puck floating free towards the near side circle as Hins will track it down to the corner. He pops it down below his own goal. Centering pass to no one in particular out in front. Turns into a turnover. Coming back for Flaming with some speed. Got Leyland in the middle. Fires it onto the right pad of Guy and Helget. Makes the save, steering it away. Swenson was there to try and keep the pressure on, and does. A bouncing puck finds its way through from the high point, and it's 2-1 Knights with their first lead of the year. Flaming's speed brought it into the zone, turned into a shot. And it was either Leyland or Swenson. On the 12th shot of the game for the Knights, who makes it 2-1. Wait for the official tally here. I believe it was Leyland who they credited to as it comes back on the near side, and Flaming loses his stick, so he heads back. Swenson in the middle, another shot, bounces down off of Guy and Helget, still loose and free in front, batted at by the Knights. Another stick lost, this time looked like by a, oh no, that was still Flaming's stick. Icing will bring it and slow it down at 2-1 in favor of the Knights. 12:42 to go. They've scored the last 2 goals. Now out shooting the Moose 12-11. From the half boards. Poked out just out of the zone. On the near side, it's wrapped around, played backwards by Justin Fobb. Has it back at his own circle. Settled down by Marhula. Back at the goal line, it's popped ahead off the backboards. Sent through the corner and up on the near side, outside the circle it goes. Fobb fires it down. Marhula forced to make a save, and now a sliding deflection by Reed Brown as he crawls in the seat of his pants across the goal line. Still pressure coming from the Moose. Brown tracks it down as it's off the stick of Hins, but right back to Hins, waiting for it in the corner. He turns, fires it back towards the middle, looking for Foldesi. It's intercepted and taken back the other way. Knights working it up the near side. Shot fired on Guy and Helget, and he makes the save and eventually settles it down. Charging Joey Robinson on his way in. And what do we got now? We've got 2 players tangled up. Have to pull Robinson away from Miller. Miller is headed to the bench. Nothing coming out of that. Student section loves it. So it was officially credited on that last goal. Flaming from Leyland. So your 2 top returning point getters settle right back into where they want to be. First goal of the season for Flaming. And Leyland picks up his first assist after they had 22 and 29 respectively in those categories a year ago. Big hit again as it poked away. Quick shot for Leyland. hunting a goal to go with the assist. That front line made it out there quickly again here with 11:13 to go in this second period. The shots starting to tilt the way of the Knights. They've got to get it fired up pretty quickly with their opening schedules. It's tracked down in the near side corner by Swinson. Swinson works his way back below the goal line and then up above. Tried a little pass inside the circle. It was taken away, then picked right back from Dahlheimer. Never left the zone. Flaming right there. Second chance. Batting at it like a ping pong racket there out of the air for Leyland. Trying to hook up the opposite way for those two. And it just wouldn't work out. Guess it would be a ping pong paddle. But you got the picture. 10:35 to go from the far side. That floating puck, a dangerous one, Guyan Helget. He's been under siege here in the second. 7 shots on goal. That he's had to face. And he's let one slip through on Flaming's first goal. But that schedule coming up at St. Francis, which is a pretty good trip for him. Home against Rogers. Try out their new ice again for a second time. Off the draw, held back in by Reed Brown. At the blue line, he dumps it down inside the circle. Peeled out, Brown after it again, able to keep it free as Olhoff is knocked down off his skates. That allows the Moose to spring it up on the near side. Reiminger checks a man right into the boards. He lost his stick, looking for a penalty. Knights doggedly after the puck there, working against Freed. Freed, 7 goals, 13 assists a year ago. The junior trying to get physical. It was a physical first period, and that has continued here into the second with these two. A 2-1 lead for the Knights. Under 10 minutes to play in period number 2. And while the physicality is there's another check and then a little shove. And one of those is going to draw the penalty. And it's going to come, I believe, on the Moose and Jacob Rasmussen. So they were trying to use that physicality to ramp things back up as they fall down by a goal. And instead, it's going to allow St. Michael Albertville to go back on the power play for the second time in this game. Jacob Rasmussen, the junior defenseman, will be the man who sits. So 5-on-4 for the Knights, leading it 2-1, out shooting Monticello 16-12. And 2 minutes of the advantage. Coet, Swinson out to start things with that first line. The pass dumps right into the middle. Flaming and Leyland also there. And Nick Lemaire rounds out the line. And here they come with 1:40 still to work, leading by a goal. A game they trailed 1-0. Puck slides its way around the boards. 95 seconds remaining here in the power play. Back to the blue line. Tip to Leyland. Leyland looking to distribute from the blue line. Instead, dumps it down outside the circle. Winds up, settles for the pass instead. Finds its way to Swinson. Back to Leyland. He winds up. That one's deflected down. Right spot, right place, right time for Jeff Henriksen. And it leads to a break. And that shot saved into the glove of Marhula. Troy Dahlheimer, the top scorer, already with a goal in this game and 4 on the season, bearing down on Blake Marhula, the senior, and he denies him to keep it at a 1-goal lead for the Knights. Still power play time to work with for the Knights to try and build a lead with 1:14 to go in the advantage. 8:57 remaining in the second period. Tyler Beckstrom makes his way onto the ice. Coet settles it down. It'll be Flaming who works it up the ice. Avoids a stick check, but still slowed him down just enough to allow Sorensen to get over and help out. Sorensen and company, eventually with Sorensen the last tap to clear it free down the ice. 50 seconds remaining in the power play opportunity for the Knights, leading it 2-1. Goal from Flaming, assisted by Leyland here in the second. Moose take it away, walking along the Knights goal line to settle it down. It goes off the boards far side. Sorensen will take the shot from the circle and tie us up shorthanded. His first of the year comes with 8:21 to go in this first period. And we're all knotted up here in the second. Still 38 seconds to work with on the power play for the Knights. The shorthanded goal, which is the first shorthanded offering of the season for the Moose here in their second game, ties this one up. Knights now with some work to do to try and take a lead back, so credit that forecheck of the Moose. They never let it go after they were able to clear off the nice play by Sorensen. They stayed after it. Sorensen chasing it towards the corner again as he pushes in on Lemaire. 20 seconds remaining. Knights gaining the zone and now settling in, trying to work on this last 20 seconds. That pass coming to the near side, intercepted by Henriksen. He had a quick deflection early on that helped things out and slowed things down on this penalty kill. Back out, held by Bäckström. Nice hold as he dumps it back down into the circle. They need him to hold it again. Fires to the near side. Hewitt fires that shot. It goes wide, looking for the rebound chance denied. And out of the zone it goes as we go back to even strength. Both of these teams 0 for 2 on the power play, but a shorthanded goal for Dahlheimer and company as he goes back to work. Miller was on the near side, is knocked away by Hewitt. In the middle, Dahlheimer again from the weak side sends that shot deflecting off of Marhula. All sorts of activity at the blue line as that puck was flying at the senior netminder for the Knights. And that'll eventually draw a whistle, and there is a Monticello Moose down in the Knights zone. But that was Dahlheimer with Huntley Hins, it looked like, on the scene ready for a rebound. And that rebound never materialized. And Caleb Holm is the senior defenseman who is in need of some attention. Down on the ice with 7:25 to go. Shots 16-15 in favor of the Knights. Each team with a goal in the period. Flaming and Sorensen scoring for the Knights and the Moose, respectively. Splash Ice Melt Shaker Bag. That's the way to go this time of year. Simply tear open and shake on surfaces where safety really matters. It's the Splash Ice Melt Shaker Bag. We'll pause and come back right after this message from FVP.
Works. FVP Platinum batteries work. They're built to start, period. You know what works? FVP Stay Tuned works. Engine buildup doesn't stand a chance. FVP. Reach for what works.
Caleb Holm able to work his way off the ice after he was dinged up. They'll take a look at him on that Moose bench. We're tied at 2 here in Albertville at the brand new St. Michael Albertville Arena. Knights had a 2-1 lead, a shorthanded goal moments ago, knocked home by Jacob Sorensen. 3 goals and 6 assists last year. He's after the puck again on this near side. Tied things at 2 with 7 minutes to go. Knights trying to hold it in their end. Instead, it's turned over, and here comes Dahlheimer. Dahlheimer with speed to the circle. Dahlheimer shoots, and he turned away by Marhula. Plenty of fisticuffs afterwards, and now some shoving up towards the face areas. Marhula, he came flying around the post. He made that save, and then with Dahlheimer bearing down and some teammates flashing in late, a game that has been marked by physicality. I don't know if this is the Mississippi 8 of it all or what, but it's a conference matchup, and these two teams playing it not like it's November, but like it's February. And it will result in Brian Cornelius at the very least into the box. And it looks like Leyland too. He's probably saying, or excuse me, Fleming too. And he's probably saying it was retaliatory or he got pushed first, but they're always going to catch the second guy too. So coincidentals for the second time. Probably both stick those under the heading of roughing. We'll stay at 5-on-5. 6:57 to go here in the second period. Shots on goal have evened up at 2, and we've had a good one here for our first regular season in-rink hockey broadcast. I keep almost forgetting about the opener that we had at neutral site. So non-neutral site Youth Hockey Hub broadcast, first of the year. We'll have those the rest of the week, too. Don't forget, keep it tuned on youthhockeyhub.com for all you need to know about youth hockey all year round. So the officials sorting this out. Tied at 2 with 6:57 to go. "24 wins for the Knights a year ago. As we told you, they ended up in our final top 10 rankings at Youth Hockey Hub as high as number 8. And that came in the final rankings. Of course, the 2A side of things. And then in Class A, it was 19-9-2 for Monticello. Knights won this matchup. And in so doing, helped them win the Mississippi 8 for, as mentioned, the 4th straight time. So were they minors? It does not appear that they were, or at least not both, because there's some company for Fleming in the box. It is tough to hear the announcements here, but we'll do our best to sort it out. But just from counting numbers in the box, it would look like the Moose, the minor penalty, and then somebody else to serve the minor, and maybe some extra on Fleming. And they have made it 5-on-4 Moose for 4 minutes. So, key opportunity here on what will be the 3rd and, of course, longest power play of the night for the Moose. 4 minutes on the man advantage. So he drew a 4-minute major and a 2-minute minor. And now those are both off the board. I think they put them on the wrong side. Actually, no, that's the right side. That's where it ought to be. And no, it's just probably a 2 and a 10 then if they don't have the time up there. I believe it's 2 and 10 because they took the 4 off the board. But either way you slice it, the Moose right now, an advantage and a quick backhand shot on Marhula that he turns away with his right pad. And the Knights able to clear it out of the zone. So their penalty kill, 2 for 2. And they've got to kill off another 2 minutes here. Knotted at 2 with 6:15 to go here in this second period. The Moose work it back into the Knights' end. Foldesi trying to stay with the puck. He's eventually bumped off, and that leaves it for Beckstrom out to the blue line, and it just slides its way out of the zone. Chance at a break for Leyland. Leyland turns the corner, looking for some help inside from Swenson. Tries to step around the defenseman, Ben Miller, and he can't quite do it at the circle. Slowed up and taken away. Here comes the other Miller. That's Matt working to the far side for the Moose. Across the blue line he goes, outside the circle. Settles it down, waiting on the change and to set things up with the advantage. All coming after the pushing and shoving on a near goal on a break for Dahlheimer. Moose and Knights tied at 2. Both teams have spent time being the aggressors in this game. Moose jumped out to the 1-0 lead. Knights ended up with a 2-1 lead as Miller takes the shot with a man on the doorstep. It's turned away, and the rebound slapped at by the defenseman in front. So a save made and then cleared out. Kuit does it again, and Kuit sends it back down the ice with 15 seconds to go in the power play. Change for the Knights to Dahlheimer. He's got the speed. Now he's just got to find the puck as it's up too far ahead of him. Kuit tracking it down. He got a stick on it to slow it up. 5 seconds to go. Still an advantage. Still 2 on the doorstep, and it's pad saved away by Marhula. Puck is free. Only Kuit there to play it. He wraps it around the boards to go back to even strength. Still in the box, though, Fleming, which is of note, as he draws the major penalty as well. But the 2 minutes results in no goal, so 0 for 3 on the power play for the Moose. 3 for 3 on the penalty kill for St. Michael Albertville. In this, their first game of the year. 4:46 to go here in this second period. Fleming is standing up in the penalty box. Don't know if that's just some kind of passive protest or if that means he's coming out shortly and it's not quite the 10 minutes. I got to assume. It's a 10 minutes break coming in right off the draw as Henriksen took that shot, sails it high up off the pads of Marhula. Back out to neutral ice where it's settled down by Bakken. Tied at 2 as the puck ends up behind the net. Marhula out of the net a long time to play that one over. Moose providing some pressure. A lot of that from Jeff Henriksen, a 15-goal scorer last year as a sophomore, now as a junior. You look down and you see 5 in red right in the thick of things a number of times. Bakken at neutral ice settles it back down for the Moose and sends it down into the far corner. Brian Cornelius. He's coming fresh out of the box. Is tracked it down in the corner. Dahlheimer raced to the puck and he loses that instead to Beckstrom. Beckstrom and Dahlheimer pinned up against it. Leave it to Lemaire to pull it out and send it down the ice. Was that tapped? It was, and it's not even going to make the goal line anyway, so no icing with 3:45 to go here in the second. 19 shots for the Moose to 16 shots for the Knights. Here inside the final 4 of the second period as we're tied at 2. Bounces off a skate of a Knight defender. Pushed back into their zone and right back out of it by Olhoff, but the only man trailing back there was a Moose, and it's been Miller. Miller, one of the starting defensemen, is knocked down by Matt Miller right at the blue line as he waits to make a change. Sprinting straight through the middle for Leyland. He fires it far side. Swinson takes the shot, buries it right into the belly of Guy and Helget. 3:13 to go. 17th shot on goal for the Knights as we're tied at 2. 7-1 victory in the opener for the Monticello Moose. As mentioned, 4 different goal scorers. Returning their top 2 scorers from last year, and that's Dahlheimer, who we've mentioned, and Henriksen with his 15. But they're bringing back a total of 11 different goal scorers from a year ago, are the Moose. So certainly some pieces to work with for second-year head coach Eric Nelson to continue this run of dominance. Back-to-back section titles and state tournament appearances. Inside of 3 minutes to go in a tie game at 2. We're tied at 1 in the first. Each team with a goal here in the second. Can someone take a lead at an intermission? Freed trying to make his way down there. His centering pass wide of everybody and finds its way all the way into the corner. Now bouncing back out. Chance at a break if Olhoff can catch up to it. He won't do it. It'll be an icing back the other way with 2.5 to play here in the third. Obviously, things tightening up here in game number 2 for the Moose. They outshot Prairie Center 47-13 in that first game. En route to those 7 goals. Here, they've got a +2 spread in shots on goal sitting here deep into the second. Puck bouncing around, eventually settles down at the blue line. That allowed Holm to turn it back in. Good to see him back out on the ice. Dahlheimer turned away by the left pad of Marhula. Floats along the goal line. 4 sticks hacking at it on the far side. 2 for each team as it's back out. Holmes sends that shot down and saved by the stick handle of Marhula. Still alive as he's only able to direct it down. He's flat on his stomach. And I think he eventually got on top of the puck. That's pretty fortunate there. Middle of the stick of Blake Marhula kept this from another 1-goal lead for the Moose. We'll draw a face-off to the glove side of the senior netminder with 2:04 to go here in this second period. Kicking somebody out. Indeed they are. Cornelius replaces Dahlheimer. And now Swinson gone too. Beckstrom will take it. Quickly off the draw, that one just sails wide. Dahlheimer got kicked out, trying to use it to his advantage. Puck settles in the middle. Dahlheimer pokes it ahead for himself. He's one-on-one. He's got Flaming back with him. Takes the shot. Saved by Marhula. Tried to sweep it through, and Flaming was there to take it off the doorstep. Now he breaks back the other way with a 3-on-1 for the Knights. Tied at 2. Shot up and in. Knocks the water bottle off the net as Luke Leyland finds his first of the game, and it's the Knights who lead it again by a goal. Just that close on the other end. A good save by Marhula. A rebound chance that was dangling out there tantalizingly for the Moose. And instead it was Fleming who was able to take it right off the doorstep, down the ice. Trailing Leyland knifes it home. Hit the top shelf to beat Guy and Helget. And it's 3-2 Knights. The Moose have a quick answer. Miller slides that puck free, and as he does, teammate loosens the net. Slides it all the way off, in fact, as Huntley Hins. Well, he's had some interesting moments around the net here in Game 2 of the season for the Moose. Both of these teams going to the state tournament a year ago at their respective levels. Both first-round exits. Yeah, both two pretty good and perennial power-type teams. This puck turns into a skate race down the near side. Zach Miller, who scored the first goal of the game, tried to win it. He was able to poke it free to the inside. Robinson playing it in the corner with 1:05 remaining here in this second period. 3-2 lead moments ago, taken by the Knights on Leyland's first goal of the season. He hooks up opposite way with Fleming, who he assisted on the second goal of the night for St. Michael Albertville. So those two have hooked up on the last two, both in this period. Puck flies back towards the stick of Guy and Helget with 45 seconds to go. The Moose will try to work it ahead. Look for the tying goal. They've had a flurry of shots on goal and now lead that category 24-18, but they trail in this game 3-2. Wrapped around the boards, pressure, Swenson. Along the goal line, Fleming trying to work his way around. He's got Leyland set up in front. Swenson too. He ducks down to take the puck away with 20 seconds to go here in the period. Up to the blue line for Hubert. He'll fire the shot inside. Guy and Helget gathers it with the stick and covers up with the mitt. 3-2 Knights with the lead. 18 faithful seconds remaining here in the second. Trying for a 1-0 start with a meeting at St. Francis, a home game against Rogers, and a trip to Blaine for the Knights of St. Michael Albertville coming. At Pine City area, home against Princeton, and at Chisago Lakes for the Moose coming up. From the blue line, it's tossed down by Beckstrom. Wrapped from the corner, back to the goal line. Beckstrom tried to hold it near side, too much steam on it. Angled strangely off his stick, and that's likely going to bring us to the end of the period. It featured 2 goals from the St. Michael Albertville Knights, and the same 2 guys hooking up on the pair. Fleming got the first from Leyland and then returned the favor. Leyland from Fleming to take the 3-2 lead. The lone goal in the period for the Moose. Jacob Sorensen scores his first of the year. And we will go here at the home of the Knights with the homestanding St. Michael Albertville squad leading 3-2 to the third period, the second intermission, right here on Youth Hockey Hub, presented by FVP.
What works? FVP Platinum batteries work. They're built to start, period. You know what works? FVP Stay Tuned works. Engine buildup doesn't stand a chance. FVP, reach for what works.
Back with you from Albertville, the home of the St. Michael Albertville Knights. The inaugural season here on this new sheet of ice has them up 3-2 in their first game of the 2018-2019 season, trying to drop the Moose to 1-1 in a key conference matchup in the Mississippi 8 early on. J.W. Cox alongside Justin Moss here on the camera, and it's the Knights, courtesy of a Luke Leyland goal assisted by Adam Fleming. Those two combining on the 2 goals in the last period, but it's the Leyland goal that right now is the go-ahead goal. As we switch ends with the Knights re-attacking right to left here at home in this third period. So far not out of their own end. As some forecheck pressure coming up from Brian Cornelius, able to push it out towards the blue line, but no further as the Knights are able to take over, walk through neutral ice with it before it's taken away by Ben Miller. Miller's played a good defensive game in the red sweaters of the Moose. It's flipped up on the near side by Dahlheimer, trying to break free out of that zone. Cornelius working with the puck. Dahlheimer sprinting up. Instead, it's Sorensen who scored the lone goal for the Moose there in the second. Physical game, not necessarily what you'd call a clean game, more what you would think. Some takeaways just like that. It's Dahlheimer on the end of it here. He turns the corner right at the blue line with 16:09 to go here in this third period. Can't get a shot away. But possession flopping back and forth more often than not. Certainly early on in the first period, that was the case. But we've had several roughing penalties. The teams are a combined 0 for 5 on the power play, and a quick glove save there as the puck skittering towards the crease, and Guy and Helget makes the stop. 15:54 to go here in the third. Shots on goal in that second. 13 for Monticello, 10 for St. Michael Albertville. That there is the 17th save of the night made by Guy and Helget. Knights trying to work it ahead. It was tipped right back to the man at the goal line, Lemaire. He does center it through the slot, and it finds its way all the way to Guy and Helget, who makes the save. Another bouncing puck, this one to the weak side with nobody home. Guy and Helget unable to bat it down. Same story for Reed Brown trying to hold it in for the Knights back at the blue line. 15.5 to go. The puck bounces off the skate of Brown and hops right up into the breadbasket of Miller. Miller playing with it in the corner, trying to get some help from Hins. Hins fires it free, back towards the middle. Short angle shot, the net is loose as Miller fired that one from just inside the circle. Hot shot, nothing came of it, save from Marhula. 25 shots on goal for the Moose as they trail it 3-2. 15:18 to go with the draw coming up. A reminder, Splash Ice Melt, the shaker bag. A must-have this time of year. Simply tear open and shake on surfaces where safety really matters. Steps, driveways, stoops, porches, garage entryways. Those are just a few that come to mind as the Moose put some pressure on Marhula. This is high school hockey presented by FVP and their many products, encouraging you to reach for what works. What works in your coverage of high school hockey and youth hockey is Youth Hockey Hub all season long. Don't miss staff rankings, regular podcast offerings, everything you need to know throughout the state of hockey. 15 minutes to go here in this final period of regulation. 3-2, the Knights with the lead. Neither team much of an edge to tilt the ice here in this third period so far. Remember, the second started on a power play for the Moose. They didn't get anything out of it. Dahlheimer fights through some stick traffic, shoves it into the zone up ahead of Cornelius, who crosses the blue line. Working on the far side with Henriksen. Henriksen waiting for him to pop as well. He had a goal, one of the 7 in that first game, is on the near side. It's taken by Sorensen trying to turn the corner. He slips off his edge. Henriksen's offering came on the power play. He had 2 actually as Sorensen takes it away, fires a shot high off the glass. All sorts of clamor from that student section of the Knights. They have loved the physicality from St. Michael Albertville. Off the boards, that one will turn into an icing. It was nearly a breakaway from Fleming. But with 14:21, it comes back to the Knights zone. Henriksen, 15 goals and 7 assists a year ago. I still think that big number to lean on for Monticello as far as no matter what happens here, certainly an encouragement for the season. 11 guys that scored a varsity goal back this year. Long shot, that one deflects off the pads of Marhula. Stayed alive dangerously for a moment before the Knights can turn it away. Still not quite pinned out of the zone. Played back along the goal line, chance to cut it off for Freed. Big incidental hit there as a sliding Reiminger met the shoulder and elbow of the Knights player. Sundell works it from the blue line, rips it all the way around the boards, finds its way to Pedersen. Pedersen on the near side. Down below the goal line. He's upended as he runs into too much traffic. The puck still hung up down there. Sundell comes over to try and free it up. He has it played off of his stick by Monticello and just out of the zone. Enough to draw a neutralized faceoff with 13:34 to go. That also translates into 21 upperclassmen on the roster, which is a large roster for the Moose. Again, the roster that I believe they gave out here and that have online is combined for a lot of varsity and junior varsity guys too, but just a large roster, some participation going on, and certainly at the top end with the 7 seniors and 14 juniors for Coach Nelson. That is a great foundation for the Moose to try and make it 3 straight trips to the state tournament. It is a penalty on the Knights on Sundell down in the corner there. Came out of that scrape, so a power play opportunity for the 4th time for the Moose. 15 seconds gone in this 5-on-4. Neither team has scored on the power play. It was a shorthanded goal for Sorensen that tied this game at 2. First shorthanded offering for the Moose this season. Off the draw, it's controlled by Sorensen, and he loses it at the blue line, and this will be a trip, but a breakaway first for Leyland. It's touched up by Dahlheimer. We'll go 4-on-4. 2 players come together. It was really incidental, but it'll be a trip on Chase Bakken nonetheless. He has a little glove tap to Fleming, who ended up down on the deck. And you can tell from the reaction of Bakken that frustrated he ended up in that spot. All right, so for the first time on this brand new sheet of ice, it'll be wide open with the 4-on-4 hockey. Scratch off that power play for the Moose. And there's about a 25-second differential between the 2 power plays, so a little miniature offering at 5-on-4, all things being equal, coming up for the Knights. Beckstrom tracks it down against the Monticello bench, dumps it where it's tapped by Sorensen for the Moose, around to the near side. Killett on the near side, has it pop back towards the middle and out across the blue line, so he has to play it back. It's 4-on-4 with some open space. So far, just the defensemen, Beckman, Beckstrom, and Killett with the touches. It goes to Leyland as he crosses it over the blue line, spins outside the circle, looking for the shot himself as he fires it into the glove of Guy and Helgett. Settled it down, scooped it up. 57 seconds left in the 4-on-4. And as it's paused right now, we can do the math. It is exactly 25 seconds differential, so keep that in the back of your mind. For the Knights on a potential advantage. Up 3-2 with 12.5 minutes to go. Trying to win their opener before they go on the road to St. Francis. Play that game at Bethel. Holm fires it down the ice. So we can see in the 4-on-4 so far with just positioning of the puck and where the play has been, it's been the Knights who have been more aggressive in the 4-on-4. It's almost still seemed like a full power play opportunity as this puck slips free. Lemaire can chase it down. He does so at the goal line and just overskates it. Hopped over and under the heel of his stick. Now a 2-on-2. Working back the other way. Shot from the circle. Pad saved away by Marhula for the offering from Foldesi. To the blue line, now 4-on-4. The Moose can set up in the middle, but it's swept away by Killett. Still sitting on 3-2. We're about to go 5-on-4 for the Knights. As that one slips off the stick of Lemaire, and it's saved by Guy and Helgett. So 23 seconds of 5-on-4 opportunity as the penalty on Chase Bakken served out here. Homestanding Knights in white and blue. Can't hold it in. Slapped away. And Justin Faub clears it back towards the goal line with 11:20 to go in regulation. The Knights have had a lead of 2-1, a lead of 3-2. Monticello scored first. Back in the first to make it 1-0. Leyland hangs onto the puck, walks along the goal line, tries to short angle it in, and he knocks the net off. And two players get tangled up, Reed Brown and Brian Cornelius. All kinds of speed related to that play for Luke Leyland. 11:05 to go. FVP has a dominating lineup. Reach for what works with FVP oil, antifreeze, stay tuned, batteries, and more. Visit your local auto shop or retailer for FVP products. You're watching Youth Hockey Hub's presentation of high school boys hockey presented by FVP. The first of 6 this week. Keep it on youthhockeyhub.com, the YouTube page for Youth Hockey Hub for all the live action. 2 in the second. That's the difference for the Knights. Look to work it back into Fleming. Hops over his stick. That gave a chance for Miller to tap it away, and he does. Dahlheimer streaking to the blue line. Has a man in the middle. Fires the shot. Rebound chance. Came out high with a man crashing, and it's slapped away by the Knights. Right there on the spot, Sorensen. Back it goes, and a shot and a goal for Dahlheimer. Sorensen on the spot to claim the puck, and Dahlheimer pours in his second of the game and his 5th of the season. We're tied again at 3 apiece. A little bit quieter here inside this brand new $9 million arena here in Albertville. With 10.5 minutes to go, the Moose have come all the way back to tie it again. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey as well, by the way. Dahlheimer from Sorensen starts us over again. Plenty of time for both of these teams to work. How about the Moose fighting back? And offsides. Bring it back. Guy in Helget, he was under siege in that second. Moose were still able to outshoot St. Michael Albertville 13-10. Right now the Moose with a +7 shots on goal, 29-22. And they're 29th. Following a long carom and then an attempted clear. And Sorensen was just all alone. Now another centering pass back in front. Hins had to go off his skate right in front. This one through traffic, knocked away once and twice by the defense, and finally flutters out past the blue line. Tanner Sundell with some traffic behind him, goes 1-on-2. He takes the shot. That was dangerous. Guy in Helget, uses the left shoulder to steer it away. Moose with a chance. Nearly thought they were going to catch him in a change, but the skaters stayed out there. Up the near side it comes. That shot sailing wide. Turned back over. Lemaire is offering deflected back. Another shot from Brown. Brown sends it back towards the middle again. A sliding puck tracked down by Dahlheimer. He moves it up the ice looking for Hendrickson. Hendrickson can't keep it on his stick rather, and it will be an icing. Hendrickson thought that was tapped. So at 3-3 with 9 minutes to go, we come back down into the Monticello end. You got 2 hungry teams here. 1 and 2 in the Mississippi 8 a year ago. And both to their respective state tournaments. Trying to follow that up with more success. Moose trying to make it 3 straight. The Knights going to build on the momentum they gained last year. Henriksen sliding in, never controlled that puck. It was caught on his skates. Back to him, bouncing at the goal line. He'll center it right back out in front. Had a man, it was deflected on its way out there by Marhula. Saved himself from having to make another save as Cornelius was planted in front of the net. 8:37 to go. Back into the Monticello end. Knights unable to turn it into any pressure as Sorensen hops it out of the puck. Poked it up ahead, but the man that tracks it down is wearing white, and it's Beckstrom. Sends it up ahead. Fleming through traffic, has it deflected down by Sorensen. Number 10 in red has found himself in the right place at the right time a number of times in this third. Fleming trying to go up against Sorensen right here. Looking to center for Leyland. Makes its way all the way across. Shot from Brown. Save made by Guy in Helget, and now a scrum in front of the net. And they will eventually blow things dead. No, they will not. There's an arm in the air as this puck is on its end, trailing back. touched up by the Knights. So it would appear we got a penalty coming up on the Moose, and they're going to pull Marhula off the ice. And before he gets there, it's touched up by Opats. So we got a cross check in all of that fray in front of the net. It'll be a penalty on the Moose. So 0 for 4 on the power play. For the Moose, this will be the 4th penalty on Monticello, but just the 3rd full power play opportunity for St. Michael Albertville. And at an inopportune time, and it's Dahlheimer, the scorer twice tonight. He's in there hacking at the puck. Dahlheimer looking for the explanation. Before he steps back in the box. And before this, the Knights talking things over. So 7:54 to go to reset it here. The Knights had a 3-2 lead out of the second period. But the Moose, courtesy of the second goal of the game from Troy Dahlheimer, assisted on an opportunistic look by Jacob Sorensen, his second assist of the season. Dahlheimer's now got 5 goals on the year. That ties us at 3. But a penalty on Dahlheimer here, part of a scrape that occurred in front of the net. 7:54 to go, gives the Knights the advantage and puts the Moose on the spot to kill off a 3rd 2-minute penalty. Draw to the stick side of Guy and Helget. Nobody cleanly with possession as of yet. Good away as any to help clear off a penalty. Flaming takes the quick shot. He has his own rebound and pops it high up into the net. Guy and Helget on the spot. There have been some rebound opportunities available both ways. And that one just lifted by last year's top scorer for the Knights. 7:39 to go in the game. 1:45 to go in the potential tie-breaking penalty. Moose trying to cling right here to try and make themselves 2-0 on the young season. The draw controlled back by the Knights. On a 5-on-4, that long shot. Killett just decided to wind up and fire. Do its offering. Swallowed up by Guy and Helget. 20 seconds gone on the 2-minute penalty. Big key draw here from Matt Miller. Pushes it to the near side. Flaming sends it back to Coet. Far side, he plays catch with the puck. Back to the near side for Leyland. Looking to do some work individually as Flaming set up straight away in front of the goal, and that pass along the blue line hops out. Knights have to touch up with 80 seconds remaining in the power play. 7:10 to go in the game. Mishandled back near the Monticello blue line. Allows the Moose to clear it back down the ice. Under 7 minutes we go with 1:10 remaining in the power play opportunity. Here come the Knights working their way up ice with Leyland. Comes to the near side for the defenseman Beckstrom. Beckstrom drops it off back for Leyland. Back to Beckstrom off a tip. Far side it goes for Kewett. Back to Beckstrom. He misplays it off the heel, but it ends up still in the hands of Leyland. Leyland fires the shot into traffic. Not redirected. Leyland's second offering again, saved by Guy and Helget. Right place, right time for the netminder for the Moose. 42 seconds to go in the power play. Still possessed by the Knights, looking for another chance. Knifing pass all the way across for Swenson. Swenson circles back, dumps it down. Flaming down there. Tries to redirect back to Swenson, forced to send it back out to the blue line. Killett fires for Swenson. Alone outside the circle. Back looking for a blue line shot from Killett. Fires it in. Deflected off the pad of Guy and Helget. And he can't hold it at the blue line with 12 seconds remaining in the power play opportunity. Touch up one more time. They're trying to get a change, and instead it's caught up on this near side. And we'll have a neutralized face-off. 7 seconds remaining in the 4th penalty of the night on the Moose. Neither one of these teams with a power play goal. Shorthanded goal. The only special teams offering besides penalties killed off for either one of these teams, and that belongs to the Moose. 6 minutes to go. 4 more at the advantage. 4 more seconds And that winds off. So back to even strength inside of 6. Tied at 3. The inaugural game here on this sheet of ice in Albertville coming right down to it. For the defending champs of the Mississippi 8 and Section 8 a year ago. The Knights of St. Michael Albertville with a tough task in the number 2 team from the Mississippi 8 last year and the winners of Section 5. Puck free along the goal line, chipped in. Guy and Helget hanging tough on that post near side. Deflected out, break chance. Up ahead, shot, shoveled, scored, and a lead for Dahlheimer and the Moose. Dangled once with the forehand, shoveled past Marhula with the backhand. And for the hat trick tonight, it's the Moose who take a 4-3 lead with 5:17 to go. The Hats are red and black here at the home of the blue and gold clad Knights. And they'll work quickly to get everything off the ice. But a happy task for the Moose. As Dahlheimer has his 3rd of the game. Already had back-to-back multi-goal games. Excuse me, it is back-to-back hat tricks as he had 3 in that first. But most importantly, it's a 4-3 lead. The Moose looking for more on a knife of a shot from Fuldesi. Sails wide with 5 minutes to go. Could that be your game winner as it's hopped up high for Hins? Now the Knights, who have been down a couple of times by a goal, but obviously never this late in the equation. They've got the firepower to come back in it, but it's the Moose who have had the firepower here in the 3rd, and it's belonged to number 18 in the red sweater, Troy Dahlheimer. 21 goals a year ago, and he opens up the season with back-to-back hat tricks, 6 in the first 2. Plucked out of the zone by the Moose. Still after it goes Fuldesi. He's paid off with spending some time off that clock. He'll head to the bench for a change. Sent backhanded into the zone by Henriksen. Chased down by Cornelius. He loses that race. Henriksen, though, chance to spring it free. Cornelius does maintain possession of the puck for a moment, but it's back and coming the other way for Flaming. He fires the shot from deep outside the blue line that sails wide, just acting as a dump into the zone. Back to Cornelius. He sends a bouncing puck right through the circles it goes with 3:50 remaining. 4-3 lead for the Moose. Coming on the road, trying to go 2-0. Avenge a loss a year ago to St. Michael Albertville. One of the 2 that separated them in the Mississippi 8 standings. And so far, it's been on the back of Troy Dahlheimer. Sorensen is shorthanded, the only non-Dahlheimer goal in this game for the Moose. Taken away, here he comes again. The man with the hats, outside the circle, backhand shot. That one steered away, it was going wide anyway. Wrapped around the boards once more time. 3:15 to go. An exciting new era for St. Michael Albertville hockey going to the state tournament a year ago. Now this year opening up a new sheet of ice to play on. They had a lead at 3-2 going into the 3rd, but 2 unanswered from the Moose. And it's Monticello looking to spoil things here in the opener for the Knights and go 2-0. 2:59 to go. Don't forget, this is the first of 6 games of our coverage schedule here on Youth Hockey Hub this week. Our coverage presented by FVP. Reach for what works with FVP. 2:50 to go. Knights trying to pry it out of their zone. Fuldesi has played strong late, possessing and or getting in the way of the puck at the blue line. It slips to Ben Miller. Ben Miller fires it down. Bounces off the boards. A little pass up ahead, intercepted and knocked down by the hand of Ben Miller. Worked along the near side. More physical bodying up by Joey Robinson. Backhanded pass in for Zach Miller, who got the scoring started for the Knights earlier today. Miller's on the doorstep again. He turns, shovels the backhand, and it's saved by Guy and Helget. Things did not look good for the junior goaltender, Guy and Helget, who appeared in 3 games in mop-up duty a year ago and is 1-0 and stopped 12 of the first 13 he saw in that first game. He has stopped 26 of 29 here in this one. And the Moose have caught up, and now he's a few more saves away from picking up his 2nd win of the year. But he's facing all kinds of pressure. He'll reach up and snare that one with 2:02 to play. Marhula staring towards the bench to see if Coach Johnson wants to pull him. No signal yet. Draw coming in the Moose zone. Tapped away, won by St. Michael Albertville. Leyland knifing through there after he wins the draw. Couldn't corral it. Shot makes its way through the legs of a defender and then bounces out off the rebound to Cornelius. Cornelius 1-on-2. Dangles it right back behind for Hendrickson. Hendrickson to the middle for Dahlheimer. And a save made by Marhula. Keeps us in a 1-goal game with 1:45 to go. That's a heck of a break, though, for the Moose. Trying to write that Dahlheimer hat trick goal as the game winner, but then tack on one more for a little breathing room. 1:45 to go. Puck loose and free off the draw and scooped up. Swinson able to take it through neutral ice, dump it down with the forehand. The hand is out and calling for Marhula to come from the net. Empty net on the right. Extra skater on the way. Long shot through traffic and in. Didn't need the extra skater. It knocks home for the Knights, and now they're alive here in their new arena as we're tied at 4 with 88 seconds to go. Looks like Connor Kewitt from the blue line and then through some traffic. Any way you slice it, with 1:28 to go, they're happy here in Albertville. And how big was that save moments ago for Marhula? He makes the sprint off the ice, and it wasn't the added pressure. Right off the draw, Sorensen splitting through 2 defenders. He loses the puck with 80 seconds to go. Slipping back down on the near side into the corner. Knights, now can they create a rush, or who can find the last bit of energy and push? It's still in the Knights zone, not extracted yet past the blue line. Now it does slip out to neutral ice. Picked up near side. It's that second line out there for the Knights. Let's see if the first liners get one more run at it here inside of a minute. Tied at 4. Late life for the Knights. Olhoff pulls it away. He'll enter the zone. Dangles it back in the middle of traffic. Knocked away by Miller. Down into the corner. Olhoff has it again. Spins it back out towards the blue line with 45 seconds to go. Long blast of a shot. Traffic again. Why not try it? Olhoff has it back turned. Taken away by the Moose. Popped out of the zone on the near side. Hins with some space. Flying in across the blue line. Sends that one wide to the far side. Bounding away to Foldesi. 30 seconds to go. Keeping us from overtime right now. Tied at 4. Back to their own blue line. Long shot sent wide, and that will turn into an icing with 22 seconds to go. And the Knights the goal inside the final 90 seconds. Now inside the final 20. Dahlheimer trying to track it down. One more break for him. His hat trick tasting a little sour right now as they're tied, looking at overtime. Knights, though, with the pressure. 8 seconds to play. Somebody's going to win it in regulation. It's going to be the Knights because it's too long to get down to the other end of the ice. Flaming has to take it away. Dahlheimer with 1, with 2. He's got nothing to do but wait for overtime. A goal with 88 seconds remaining sends us to extra time here in Albertville. The Knights 4, the Moose 4. What a game we've got here in the opening week of high school hockey. And you've got it locked in right here on Youth Hockey Hub, presented by FVP.
You know what works? FVP Platinum batteries work. They're built to start, period. You know what works? FVP Stay Tuned works. Engine buildup doesn't stand a chance. FVP, reach for what works.
To overtime we go, and why not? Connor Hewitt scores his first goal of the game. He had assisted on the third goal that tied things at 3, or had things at a 3-2 lead for the Knights going to the third. Back-to-back goals from Troy Dahlheimer in the third. Had the Moose sitting pretty with 90 seconds to go. But then with 88 seconds remaining, it was Hewitt with the score. And a tie game, and now a winner right away in overtime for Luke Leyland. And the Knights, just like that, are 5-4 victors. It took 22 seconds. And barely enough time to recap the regulation for the Knights to bury the winner on their 31st shot of the night, the second for Luke Leyland. 5-4, the Knights are 1-0, and the Moose, despite a tremendous night as a team, and specifically from Troy Dahlheimer with his second hat trick of the year, they fall to 1-1. Dahlheimer with 3, Sorensen with 1, Leyland with 2, Flaming, Miller, and Hewitt, the big-time game tire to set up Leyland's winner 22 seconds into overtime. For Justin, I'm JW. Thanks so much for joining us. FVP's production of high school hockey has been brought to you tonight on Youth Hockey Hub. More action coming your way this week and all season long right here on your home for hockey in Minnesota, youthhockeyhub.com. Good night, everybody.
You know what works? FVP Platinum batteries work. They're built to start, period. You know what works? FVP Stay Tuned works. Engine buildup doesn't stand a chance. FVP, reach for what works.